Well, this is to anyone out there that is listening to this and would like to know the truth. Not just hearsay, would actually like to find the facts out themselves. My name is David Jackson. You have my permission to go look up all the court records. Make sure you listen to the audio, not just the text. You have to listen and hear what the judge actually said, and every one of them. And you have to hear what these people have said. And I will prove where they have lied. And yes, a lot of that is with video. Some of it they would have to get medical records to show where a doctor said that they were abused and it was definite. As in uh, the story Jen told people about getting stitches in a sensitive area. And no, not where kids come out, the other one. Yeah, I was shocked when I heard it too. But that's one thing I would ask people to ask her to produce the medical records from the fact that she was supposedly essayed by a boyfriend to cause that damage. And it would have to be around the time that Jazzy was born, because that's when we were dating. So, there you go. And Kyle was 2002. He was almost 2003, but he was born 2 months early. Yeah, I've already put up videos about that. And yes, I was there every day he was in that incubator. Every day. The person that cut his umbilical cord was me. The person that was there with his footprints on their arm was me. I even had a brand new tan shirt because I wanted to look decent. Should have thought about what I was heading into, or at least wore the scrubs that they told me to, but I didn't. And I ended up getting blood all over my shirt, which was fine. You know, I'm just more evidence that I was there the day of his birth. For all these people that try and say I wasn't there, the only time I wasn't there is because I was kept away. Well, why were you kept away? Because they were doing stuff that they did not want me to see. That's why. Did it fit their story? Yes, because every woman has a story like that. And I'm not going to discredit the ones that are saying the truth. If that is the exact truth, what happened to them, they have every right to do what they're doing about it. The ones that use their stories that they hear and try and make it seem like it happened to them too, but in reality, they are actually the villain. Those ones deserve a padded room or jail time. And I assure you, these women that I speak of are those types of women. They target men like me just so they can do that. The reason why I had a lot of people that adored me is because I wore my heart on my sleeve. I was still a sweet man until I was given a reason not to be. A lot of people took that as I was soft. A lot of people took that as me being stupid or naive or this or that. No, that's what I was told to do. Did I forgive? Yes, I forgave a lot. Should I have? Well, I don't know. I was told to. I did. They did it again. Somewhere in there, it became my fault. And I mean, I'm claiming some responsibility for some of the stuff that has taken place, but there are some things I am not claiming responsibility for because I'm not responsible for those. Those thoughts did not come into my head. I did not act on them. Therefore, I will not accept responsibility for things I did not do. I don't care what my uncle says as being a real man, all because a group of people say that this is it and this is what you got to accept. That doesn't mean I'm accepting it when I know it's not the truth. As in, I'm not taking the blame for something that I didn't do. I don't care if people say that's what men do or not. This man doesn't do that. That would be believing a lie, and I'm not doing that. It's just a lot of shit. But basically, I extend this out to any of the viewers, any of the stalkers. And what I mean by stalkers is Tiffany. She is definitely a stalker, which I don't care. Anything I'm saying on these videos, I've already said to your face. So it's not a shock. This is to Brenda Klein. This is to her Aunt D, Miss Crackhead and Alcoholic, which I hope to God you have gotten away from that because holy shit, I'm surprised you survived. I'm not being a dick, I'm just being brutally honest. At one point, you were inviting us down to Florida, and Tiff wanted to go. And we got little kids that I have to work, and she's not going to keep an eye on, and there are gators that come in their backyard. No. With me around, I'd say yeah, but I'm not around. I'm going to be working, especially down there. I'm going to have all kinds of work. No, I would. Oh man, if I got a call like that, boy, oh, I would be in Florida prison. And yes, something like that would happen because she would not keep an eye on them, and I promise you, she wouldn't. But anyway, you think I was going to move my kids down to Florida, where all kinds of things can hurt them, with a bunch of people that do nothing but drink, do drugs. And I'm talking about hard drugs. I'm not talking about smoke a little bit of weed. Maybe drink a beer here and there. I'm talking about people that drink their asses into fucking stupors, like Tiffany used to try and do when I first met her. Yeah, I'm the one who got her out of that. Yeah, if it weren't for me, she would have been dead or in jail a long time ago. I tell you one thing, if I would have let nature take its course, my kids would have never, ever, ever had to go through this. And you can all sit there in denial when you have not been around to see the details that I have. None of you have. None of you were even around to take care of her when she was younger. Her mother only took care of her for maybe 6 to 7 years of her life total. That means for 10 to 11 years of her life, she wasn't even around her mother. She was with Prudence. She was in mental homes. She was with friends or out in other states where her mother didn't even know what was happening to her. So I don't want to hear none of y'all's fucking mouth. None of you have had raised or taken care of that girl. I did for over a decade, which is longer than any one of you. And I would love for somebody to tell me which one of my children were under the age of 2. Don't worry, I'll wait. Right. None of them. Nolan was born in 2015. Right. He was 4 years old. Just turned four years old in April. Literally the month before. She was gone for not even 2 years, and even those 2 years, she was back and forth trying to get me to go back with her. I have record of all of it. Right. I'm such an abusive and crazy guy that she's gonna put all this stuff because she's mad, and then come back not even a month after she did all this crazy shit and be banging on my door for safety. What the fuck? How come I have it in her own words that everything she said to these police that I did, she is literally pouring out the exact opposite in her own words? You never really judged me. You never really, you know, made me do anything. You you told me things that I wanted to hear and things that I didn't want to hear, which means I gave her the truth, whether it was what she wanted to hear or not. So that means I didn't sugarcoat or lie. I mean, what the hell? This is after peace orders. This is after we broke up in June. Uh, really? Right. Okay. Why are you still so upset? Because she murdered our fucking kids. That's why. I'm not obsessed about anything. I'm bringing things up to refresh people's memory. Yeah, you remember the guy that kept her out of trouble and got her to stop drinking the night you were at a party with her, right? Knowing she wasn't 21. Did you care what the fuck she was doing that night? No. That night, I was only there with her brother and my buddy Dale. I wasn't even there with her. The only reason why I was around is because I knew who she was and she was getting loud over a girl that was talking to me and was a friend of mine that was at the other party of the neighbor of Steven, which that's the party y'all were at. And that's why she started that fight with that girl. I wouldn't give Tiffany the time of day, and she got pissed off, went off with a dude named Ricky. When she came back from being with the dude named Ricky, I was talking to a girl named Tara, a girl that used to work for my mom at Wendy's in Elkton, so I knew who she was. And all we were doing was talking. Me and Tiffany were not dating. We were barely friends. Uh, I don't know what the fuck got under her skin. I don't know what all that was about. I don't know. Actually, I think that was, yeah, after me and Jen had split up, and uh, yeah, Tiffany was. So I guess Tiffany liked me and was jealous that this girl was hitting on me. But you just came out of the woods with another dude. What the fuck? But your family's there, and they're supposedly watching you and protecting you. Even that night, I protected you more than your family did. Yeah, you're about to fight this girl all because you're jealous over me. She didn't say that, but you could just tell. That's the only reason why she started that fight with that girl. I was sitting on the back of Dale's truck talking to Tara when she walked up after getting out of the woods with some random dude. Yes, literally, just walked into the woods, was in there for maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, and then come walking out, fixing everything so you know what the hell went down. And everybody can fucking see it. We're all sitting there. I mean, it's a fucking field. I just, I couldn't believe I ever fucking said yes to that girl or Jen. Now Bethany, I could understand why I did. She seemed like a sweet, God-fearing girl. I was completely wrong. Thanks to my brother and her dad, which I never thought her dad had a hand in it like that. I remember him coming up to some Subway when I worked at Subway in Elkton, and I was talking to my mom, and he walked in, and he was talking to me about Bethany, and every time he used to, run into me, he would always, "Hey, you want to get back with my daughter?" And I'm like, "No." So when he walked in that day and I seen him, I was joking, and I was like, "Yo, I'm not. I do not want to get back with Bethany." I said, "How's Kyle?" And he was just like, "Oh, whoever said I would want you to?" And I'm like, "What?" That's normally your first line every time you see me is, "Why won't you get back with Bethany?" Because she slept with my brother. Because she's doing heroin. Um, there's so many reasons why. She tried to kill my son after she asked for him, then tried to play it off that, she had no idea what I was talking about. Oh, I'm not playing that game. You don't understand. I would I would stay the night with Bethany at her dad's house. I would sleep right out in the living room and nothing would ever take place. Bethany would always try to get me to, and I wouldn't do it. I think that's why she came up with this I want kids and marriage thing. That's why I'm kind of thinking that Tiffany basically did the same thing, just a little bit differently. But pretty much same thing. And what did Bethany do? She used it against me to hurt me, which why they do that, I don't know. I really don't. And I don't want to hear anybody say, "Oh, well, you did something." No, I didn't. I gave them everything they asked for, and all they did was stab the fuck out of me. The only thing I did was ask them why the hell they were doing that. And they could never come up with an answer. Jen, same thing. I thought Jen was cool as shit, even though she was awkward as a motherfucker. She was a little stalkerish, and that kind of raised my eyebrow. But I mean, other than that, man, she was a nerdy goofball, which was adorable as hell if she wasn't doing all the other shit. But I mean, they all had a really adorable side to them and very likable. But I'm confused. I don't know if that was just them acting and love bombing or if that was really them. I have no clue. And yeah, I've brought it up to him when I've gotten a chance to. Jen, when I took her to Wes's, I told her, I said, "I don't know why you're acting the way you are. I don't know why you're doing the things you're doing. Half the time you show me this great person, the other half the time I'm looking at a fucking monster. What the hell is going on?" Now, I straight out ask them, don't fucking talk to me about communication. I will straight out ask them, what is the problem? You realize I never get the same answer twice? It's always a different answer, which means they're making up shit. Well, it could mean you're doing multiple things. No, because these are long periods of time that we weren't even together. Okay? And I'm asking them specific things. Why did you do these things? What caused you to act this way? Some of them say, I don't know, I was scared because you were such a great guy, which I don't know if that's a fucking love bomb line. Is that the truth? I've heard it multiple times. I've heard you're great, but then I'm put in a phone as asshole, even though I was put in as asshole as a joke. Because I was, you know, it was part of my charm. Yeah, you'd have to get to know me to understand it, but whatever. Yes, there's plenty of guys like that. That is part of their charm once they, you know, create that bond with their partner knows why they're being somewhat an asshole and they know what they mean by it. And the reason why she would call me an asshole is because I would always catch her. I would always be able to, you know, there was one of those fucking R&B songs, You See Right Through Me. She used to play that one all the fucking time and tell me, yeah, that's how I feel about you because every damn time you know what I'm up to. Oh yeah, if I always knew what you were up to, which I did, I would call her out on a lot of shit. But she would lie, and at the time I didn't know it was a lie. I was trying to show her that I was going to trust her, and hopefully that meant enough to her that she was going to keep to her word to prove to me that she would, you know, gave me her word. No, that is never how it went. And that's why after 12 years, even though I said that was the last and I wasn't giving up on it, I gave up on it. That's what I mean. Every time I said something like that towards something and my person I was with heard it, they completely did the opposite. And they didn't stop after I was like, yo, what are you doing this for? They just made up an excuse and kept doing it. And I know there's men out there that've done that. I don't call them men. I call them, like I've always said, those are males. Those are not men. Just because they were able to talk and growl and sound like they were manly, or even love bomb like they were manly, it doesn't mean they were a man. They just knew how to play it, which fucks it up for everybody else. Just like these girls, these types of girls fuck it up for all the ladies out there that are sweet and, you know, just want a life. That's what I thought these girls wanted because that's what they said. And that's one thing about being equal. You're supposed to be able to take you for your word. And that was your word. And none of you, not one of you, have ever stood by what you said. That's why when I was running Tiff around and she was collecting all her money from the Dollar Generals and all that, that's not including everywhere else she was getting money from. That was just the local places that, you know, they kept my name out of everything, which that was fine. I'm just showing the way they would act. They played that part all the way down to even after they passed. I mean, you think eventually they would have gave it the fuck up, like, damn man, they're gone, you know. Maybe I should stop being such an ass to this guy. No, it got worse. And I'm being sweet as can be. I'm taking care of you. You just took the lives of my kids, and I'm nursing your mom and my son back to health because you can't seem to do it. The doctor freaking told you you keep not taking care of his feet, they're going to have to be amputated. I step in and start taking care of it. Voila. Boy's healed within fucking 2 weeks. And what does she do? Why we got him on a walker? Oh, lets him go and stay at a friend's house. And what does he do? He breaks his leg. I'm like, Jesus, girl. But no, that's not neglect. You can't let him out of your sight. He is a young, rambunctious teenager. You're putting him with somebody else that drinks and does drugs and is not going to watch him, which was Brenda Klein. And what happened? He was up fucking around, supposedly, at 3, 4 in the morning and snapped his leg. The one that we just got all pieced back together. And doctor even told her he keeps doing that. He's going to have problems in his growth plate, this, that, and the other. He might have to have it amputated. And that came up again. I said, really? After all we did to get you back, now we're back to this? And he said, yeah, you got to be very careful, like I said. I said, and I looked right at too. And she just put her head down. And yes, I still have the picture of David with his nice haircut in the hospital room where the doctor was yelling at too. Because that's what I did. I turned and took a picture of my son sitting in his wheelchair. And he is looking at his mother getting yelled at. But yeah, I didn't do nothing. I was never there. I was just such a piece of shit. Even though Tiffany never made $250,000 in a year, she sure as hell pissed it all the fuck away. Yeah, man, she was fucking playing everybody. Also, she could do pills and run around with strange men when she had everything she could ever want. Yeah, I'm in shock in multiple ways. No wonder I'm fucking pissed. I have every right to be. Any one of you men out there, put yourself in my shoes. Just level with me. Since you're just out there hearing supposedly two truths, right? What happens if my truth is factual? Exactly. And I'm just trying to put myself in your shoes. That's all I'm doing there. I know damn well what I'm saying is factual. I couldn't be on the internet saying everything that I'm saying without having truth behind it. Because once it goes to court, it would destroy my whole damn case. There's not one shred of lying in anything I've said. And if anybody wants to put us in a room and hook us all to a fucking machine, let me know. Because I'll do it any day. I guarantee you the one's going to be playing games is going to be them. Mark my words.